could you monsters do this?
He is my sweet child.
And you made him ugly. What do you have to say for yourselves?
r/EntitledParents. Our first story that we'll be reading today. Entitled Dad Thinks That His 5-year-old Son Should Be Doing Benches at the Gym, Gets Arrested, by user J2Robot. And after that, how a brat of a kid ended up causing a movie-style chase scene, from user AmmoNessRester. And after that, yes, my child's artist name just happens to be your name, from user MythosValton. After that, Entitled Parent explodes at my mother for paying attention to cousin on cousin's birthday, then for getting her flowers and encouraging her, from user Little Happy Feets. Thank you to our authors for letting us read your stories. And if you're an author who would like to see your stories on the channel, please submit them to the r/MrReddit subreddit. And welcome to the newest members of the Re-Army, Klebble, Jordan, and Val. And if you're new, join the Re-Army by subscribing for new stories from Reddit every single day. Entitled Dad Thinks That His 5-year-old Son Should Be Doing Benches at the Gym, Gets Arrested. So, this is my first time posting in this sub. English is my second language, but not good at it. So sorry if I make any mistakes while writing. This happened a few months ago, but whatever. Too long didn't read at the bottom. So just some context. I just got a new job at a sort of country club. I do paperwork, filing membership, at a desk near the front of the gym. This story happens just when my shift starts. At the gym, one had to be above the age of 12 to enter, as long as you are with an adult, 14 to enter alone, and you need to be 16 to enter the black matted area. It's the weightlifting area, where people deadlift, bench press, and do any exercise involving weights. We've got me, the entitled dad, entitled kid, receptionist, and security officer. Let's begin. So I'm sitting at my desk chatting with the receptionist, basically chilling. There was probably 15 people in the gym, and 4 of them in the black matted area. Out of the dark, enter entitled dad and entitled kid. Now, entitled dad looked like a hippie wearing a tank top and a pom-pom hat. It was currently winter in Canada. Entitled kid then said,
Hi, where can I do some bench presses?
I giggle on the inside. I don't think that you would be allowed to bench, but you can surely do some cardio over there. I point at the treadmills.
But I want to lift.
He actually said that. I'm sorry, kid, but you're too young.
Hey, OP!
I had a name card.
How about you shut up and move on? One kid bench pressing won't do anything to you.
I'm shocked. Is entitled dad so entitled to his 5-year-old son doing bench presses? Like, does he have any common sense? Listen, if you want your 5-year-old son to be bench pressing, you gotta go to another gym. It's simply the rules.
I don't give a hoot. My son will be jacked, while your fat butt will be in the hospital.
I'm just dumbfounded right now. As I am writing this, I still can't believe how little brain cells entitled dad had. To my luck, receptionist steps in and saves me from eternal heck.
I think you heard OP. He said the rules. Your son can't bench press here. As a matter of fact, your son shouldn't even be allowed in here. He is way too young.
Dumb girl, I don't care.
The entitled dad and entitled kid walk up to the black matted area, while receptionist contacts security. Entitled kid then tries to pick up a 20-pound dumbbell and fails to do so. Because of that, I'm honestly worried that entitled kid will try to bench and get hurt while doing so. Thank God, because as entitled kid sat down on the bench, security and receptionist arrived. Now, security is like 6'7" and jacked, so he's pretty intimidating. Sir, you and your son must leave this building, or else we will be contacting authorities. Entitled dad starts screaming.
I am trying to work out. Can't you num-nums go away?
Now, everyone else in the gym heard this and are shocked as they are walking towards entitled dad. Sir, you have to leave. Now standing directly in front of him and entitled dad noticing his height. I say, Sir, just leave now before you get arrested.
But Dad, you said that I will get ripped today.
Don't worry, entitled kid. See, you are making him cry.
Entitled Kid honestly looked like he just wanted to leave at this point. Listen, Entitled Dad, you will be arrested for trespassing. The police are already on their way.
Like heck I am. Who the heck do you think you are to kick me out of the gym? I know the manager, you numbnuts. I will get you fired, OP.
Right now, I know for a fact that the police are already in the building and he is trespassing. So I'm just laughing on the inside at how delusional this Entitled Dad is. So, Entitled Kid now is wanting to leave, so he's hiding behind Entitled Dad and simply tugging on his arm. The police enter. Police say, "Sir, are you refusing to leave this property?"
No, they are attacking me because I'm white.
While I'm dying of laughter, because according to Entitled Dad, if you're white, then you're right. "Sir, put your hands behind your back."
But...
No buts.
Dad, you said that I'll work out.
Shut up, Entitled Kid. I'm freaking done with you.
Do parents nowadays pull this crap so their children can profit? It's honestly ridiculous. So Entitled Dad is arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest. Honestly, some people now are completely delusional and think that they can do whatever they want. I really feel like some people in Canada are more cringeworthy. I guess the lesson of this story is to follow the rules, I think. Next we've got how a brat of a kid ended up causing a movie-style chase scene. 3 days ago, I was in New York, talking about an entitled dad, his children, and the deli waitress who was an absolute legend. Now we're in Santa Monica with an entire entitled parade going on. I landed in California 2 days ago, and one of the minor reasons I'm here is because Pokemon Go is very popular at the famous boardwalk. Let me tell you right now, this story would have ended differently had I not had my friends with me. Cast. We've got entitled mother, an entitled father, an entitled son. I'm not going to say how old because it ruins the story. We have entitled daughters 1 and entitled daughters 2. Both are either 7 to 9, and then we have their grandfather. So I'm traveling the US these next few weeks because I'm looking into colleges to go to after my current one. I traveled here to California, landed, and met friend and nice best friend here, where we all agreed to share a room on the coast. Very expensive. Yesterday I went to University of California, got info, and we left. That evening, us 3 decided to check out the boardwalk, and we were heavy Pokemon Go players. We decided that we would split up and see what we could catch, do some gyms, etc. About 8 p.m. rolls around, and we're all hanging out again near a food vendor with our new finds and gym battles. That's when I noticed these 3 kids across from us with their phones out, and the boy looks upset. He starts storming over to me, so I nudge friend for him to notice.
Forget this. I can't fight this. What's your deal anyways? You got no life or something?
These 2 girls come walking over while nice best friend is now on this. My friend was like, "What the heck is your problem? You looking for a fight?" He shows us his phone, and it's the gym we all captured together with our Pokemon in them. Disclaimer, my Pokemon is at 3,500. Friend has one almost at 4,000, and nice best friend has hers at 3,000. Entitled daughter 1 was like,
Give big bro his title back.
and the other daughter was like,
Yeah, he always treats us right when he wins.
that was a legit phrase she said. I kid you not. Nice best friend says, "So what? We got a gym. Now you gotta take it from us." Yeah, seriously, what did you expect from this game?
Take them out so I can win. That's completely unfair.
Sorry, man, but that's part of the game. My friend says, "What are you gonna do? Go cry about it to your parents?"
Shut up. Don't make me hurt you. You guys are all wimps. You won't hit me. I dare you.
My friend says, "Kid, if you try to hit me, I guarantee I'll knock you out." As if there was a hand from God giving him the boost, entitled son takes a swing at my friend and, without hesitation, moves over to the left to avoid being punched, so the kid hits the food stand behind him. Then, in one swift motion, friend pops this kid in the face, knocking him down onto the floor. Entitled daughter 1 runs over to her brother, while entitled daughter 2 runs away, presumably to go get his parents. Nice best friend. OP, I bet you $10 you're getting another Reddit story. I'll take those chances. Not even 10 seconds later.
My poor baby.
Sure enough, Here comes the obvious Karen with her daughters being yanked behind her as they storm through the crowd to find her beloved son on the floor with blood coming out of his nose.
How could you monsters do this?
He is my sweet child.
And you made him ugly. What do you have to say for yourselves?
My friend goes, "That runt started it." Friend was immediately rewarded with high fives from both me and nice best friend. Soon enough, this man in his late 30s helping an older man in his early 60s comes up to the scene and starts complaining at us too. Entitled father says,
Karen, what's happened here?
her actual name is Karen. What are the odds?
According to entitled daughter too, my baby was trying to talk to these boys and was assaulted immediately.
Nice best friend had her jaw dropped, basically. Me and friend had this look of like, here we go again, and I already felt my wallet feel $10 heavier. Grandpa says,
I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Dad, these people hurt your grandson. You're not upset?
Grandfather did nothing but stand back and watch. Entitled father was treating his son. Entitled daughter 1 and 2 started running around annoying the other people who were watching, and entitled mom was up in our face like we did something wrong.
Mommy is mad. Daddy is mad.
How about I call the police on you 3 boys and ruin your lives for assaulting a child?
My friend goes, how old is this kid? He looks like he's in his 20s. He probably is. Still living with his parents. Must mean he didn't get into college.
Shut up, both of you. My husband works for the state police people, and we will be happy to send you to the island prison.
Nice best friend says, are you talking about Alcatraz? The prison that's closed?
You stupid kid. I hope you get messed up and some inmates bite your head off.
Nice best friend had her hair tied up behind her, and she had a baseball cap on. Her clothes were fairly loose, and you couldn't see her figure. We pieced it together later why she couldn't tell. Grandpa says,
Don't mind Karen. She's just flustered right now.
My friend was like, listen to your elders. They know better than you do. Hey, sir, how old is that boy?
What's that have to do with anything? You hit my boy.
Not you. I meant your grandpa.
He's 25. Karen treats him like a king, so he thinks he is one.
I do not. You just don't know the new style of parenting.
Giving him $500 when he has to go to the movies during finals week and going to Disneyland every other weekend with your daughters is the new parenting?
Not funny, Dad.
Entitled son had gotten up off the ground at this point and was mad. He hopped up and charged straight at us. In a moment of dumb ideas, we took off and spread out immediately. I ran towards the nearby stairs and bolted through the sand. Friend and nice best friend also split up and ran elsewhere. I turned around, and I guess because I picked the stairs that were literally in eye shot, entitled son ran after me. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not gonna make up a lie like, I ran track so I dusted him, or I'm a pro wrestler so I fought him, or anything like that. I'm actually a bit out of shape, so it didn't take long for entitled son to catch up to me. But one thing about me is that I'm quick to move. I can duck and turn on a dime like you wouldn't believe. So every time entitled son got close to me, I'd duck to avoid a punch he might have thrown, then start running a different way. At some point, he learned, so he started kicking. If I had to guess, this lasted for about 5 minutes. Then my brain decided to run into a nearby parking lot. At this point, I'm winded, and so is entitled son, if I had to guess. There were still plenty of cars parked, so I ran behind a truck, ducked down, and rolled underneath. I could see entitled son run around the truck and go straight past me without detecting me. As I'm waiting, I pull out my AirPods, then call friend. While I'm on the phone, I get out from the truck and start heading back to the pier. My friend. Dude, where are you? Me. Probably half a mile skinnier than what I was earlier. Where did you and nice best friend bounce to? I booked it to the underside of the pier. Nice best friend went to the changing room and just hid in there. Smart. I think I lost this entitled kid when I hid under a random truck I found. Are you serious? You hid under a truck? Sure, why not? Just meet us at the hotel. I think I've had enough entitled jerks for one trip. And sure enough, we made it to the hotel without getting caught. The first thing we did was we used the group chat we have to tell our sides of the stories. Then we left to go get food. And that's about it. No police as far as we can tell, but one heck of an exercise. Moral of the story, make sure you take on your friend's bet. You'll often win. Next we've got, yes, my child's artist name just happens to be your name. Hello everyone, I've been lurking for a while and finally got something to post. Please forgive any errors in my post, as this is my first time posting anything text related and I'm on mobile. I do also apologize for the embarrassingly long story. It's just that I like to be detailed. So, usual cast overview time. Me, we've got the entitled teen, the entitled mom, art friend, and cool teacher. So quick little backstory, side info. This happened Friday last week, and I'm 15. I am a fledgling artist, do lots of sketches and a couple color attempts, but I'm one of the few artists in my school that openly does art, usually at lunch or once my work is done. Now, story time. It's an average Friday in my school. Kids are loud, classes are long, and I'm drawing. I go through my first couple classes like always before I get to my third period. I open my backpack and set my drawing book on my desk before I exit the classroom to use the restroom, not really worrying about anything. When I get back, my book is gone. I look all around, ask a few students I know if they've seen it, but it doesn't turn up. I then go throughout my day without it, attempting to figure out who could have taken it. Eventually, it's lunchtime, and I notice a group of about 10 kids crowded around something in the quad. Normally, I'd walk by without a thought, but I figured if it was something neat, maybe it would brighten my day. When I peer over the shoulder of the student in front of me, I blink once, then realize what's happening. A boy from my math class was showing off my drawings and claimed that they were all his own design. I almost shoved the other students out of the way and stood in front of the boy, who smiled at me like I was there to admire his artwork. Those are mine.
What?
Those drawings, they're mine. I drew all of them personally.
Dude, no you didn't. I drew this. Talent flame myself.
He gestured to the piece of art my best friend asked me to draw like it was nothing special. The other kids seemed to realize that our conversation was getting tense and began heading to lunch.
Go away.
Not until you give me my drawings back. He continued to claim he was the real owner for a while before I realized I had him with a few drawings. Flip to the 10th page. It has my name in pen on it. He did so, as he had erased my name from every other page, with a smirk, which faded when he saw my first and last name in black ink on the page with my drawing, I really like Pokemon. He then tried to leave, and I obviously tried to stop him, but lunch then ended, and a teacher told us to get to our separate classes. I was left fuming until the day ended, and when it did, I went to the front office to wait for the boy. About 5 minutes after classes ended, and most students were leaving, I spotted him. I caught him before he could leave the building. Give me back my drawings.
I don't know what you're...
Don't play games with me, you crap. You have it. You saw my name, and I want it back. Give it back now, and I'll tell nobody about this. He kept trying to weasel his way out of my grip. I had grabbed his arm before a woman came up to me.
Excuse me? What are you doing to my son?
Miss, he stole my notebook from me, and I want it back. If he gives it back, I'll leave him alone. She looked skeptical before sighing.
You're probably misunderstanding. I just got him a new notebook, so maybe it just looks like yours.
I gave her a, really? Look before she gestured to her son.
Show him your drawings so he knows it's not his.
I realized I had him because my name was on one of the drawings. He flipped through the drawings and tried to skip to the Suicune before I put my hands on the page to stop him. That's my name.
Honey, that's just his artist name.
I literally just stared at her with a look of disbelief.
All artists have one.
I then pulled out my student ID and showed her my name. See? Spelled perfectly, like my name, capitalization and all.
It's just a coincidence, that's all.
She also tried to leave, but I wouldn't let go of her son or my book. Miss, tell your son to let go of my book, and I will let you two be on your way.
It's his book, you brat. Those are his drawings.
You're just jealous of his talent.
She continued to raise her voice before a cool teacher walked over. Hey, OP, what's going on here?
Oh, good, a teacher.
This boy is trying to steal my son's art book.
It has my freaking name in it. Both recoiled at my language. Then cool teacher spoke. All right, calm down. Let's get to the bottom of this. OP, why do you think this is your book? Because it was stolen during math, which I have with this kid. It has my drawings in it, and it has my first and last name in it. Okay, good. Now, why is it your book? The boy and his mother made a jumble of excuses that just ended up confusing cool teacher. He took the book and looked it over without opening it. It has no name on it. I forgot to put mine. I still don't know if I can say it's yours. He had only seen my book from last year, so I don't blame him. As he began to open it, arms wrapped around me. Art friend hugged me from behind. Hey, art friend. What's happening here? The mother stepped forward.
This boy is trying to steal my son's book.
Cool teacher looked up from the first page. Calm down, miss. They just want to know what's happening.
They have no say in this.
They will probably just say it's his because they know him.
Cool teacher looked at art friend, who he knows I often draw with, and had an idea. He flipped to a page with an incomplete drawing and asked art friend, Have you seen OP drawing this? Yeah, he drew it in lit, but didn't finish. The woman opened her mouth before art friend turned to the page with Suakun. He also drew this for me last week. There's his name, see? The boy seemed to be regretting his choices, while the mother seemed ready to explode. Cool teacher remained calm. Mystery solved. Here you go, OP. He gave me my book and turned to the mother as me and art friend left to go to the library where we talked until our parents picked us up. I came back today, the next Monday, and wasn't bothered by the boy at all. Once again, I apologize for the embarrassing length of the story. Next we've got Entitled Parent explodes at my mother for paying attention to cousin on cousin's birthday, then forgetting her flowers and encouraging her. This is a two-part thing that happened years ago, and a story that I read on Reddit reminded me of it. For reasons like the following story, we don't visit most of my mother's side of the family anymore, not even for holidays, because of drama like this. This has been posted once before on another Reddit thread. We've got my mom, we've got the entitled aunt, we've got my cousin, and me. My aunt is pretty touchy and can be rather entitled. Years ago, my mother came to visit my cousin for her birthday. Cousin was super excited to have us there. After my mother had a long conversation with entitled aunt, mother struck up a conversation with cousin as she attempted to give her a present. Entitled aunt hated not being the center of attention 24/7 and kept butting into the conversation to try and turn the spotlight back on herself, becoming increasingly irritated when my mother would nod politely to entitled aunt, give a small reply, and continue conversation with cousin. It was cousin's birthday after all, and cousin was the reason why my mom was visiting. After a few minutes of this, entitled aunt exploded in anger, shrieking at mother for ignoring her.
How dare you give cousin all the attention?
And promptly kicked out and banned mother from the house before proceeding to shun her for years. Yes, years. It wasn't the first time she's done this, mother told me. These shunnings typically carried on for years at a time. Mother did want to cut off contact as she knew this was unhealthy behavior, but being a former foster kid coming from not-so-great homes, she clung to the only family she really had. After a while, entitled aunt began talking to mother again as if nothing had ever happened. Mother cautiously let her back into our lives, and entitled aunt even began to teach me Spanish a while later. Things were going fairly smoothly, and entitled aunt was still her strange self, and much of the Spanish lessons felt like a therapy session for entitled aunt, where she overshared her entire life to me instead of teaching me. It was awkward, a grown woman talking about seriously private matters to a young teenager and seeking advice when I was supposed to be learning. Smoothly, until entitled aunt broke her leg. Mother paid her a visit, bringing a pot of flowers with a gift for entitled aunt. My brother and I came along. The moment we walked through the door, entitled aunt saw the flowers and narrowed her eyes, instantly upset, and barked at mother to take them away, saying the cats could eat them and die. Some species of plants are toxic to cats, I'll give her that, but the way she said it was pretty abrupt and harsh, and she never once thanked mother for the gesture or was even remotely thankful. Mother was immediately apologetic as she had no idea. Seeing the tension, My brother and I trailed into an adjoining room to talk to cousin. Thankfully, she's nothing like her mother, as we watched the situation unfold. All seemed fine, as mother had appeased entitled aunt by promising to take the flowers away, and entitled aunt began to rattle on, whining endlessly about her broken leg for about an hour, complaining about how no one would come visit her. Mother sympathized with her, then offered some encouraging words, something along the lines of, "I hope it gets better soon." Entitled aunt snapped, screamed about mother's uplifting attitude, shrieking that it meant mother
Didn't care about her,
and that mother wasn't.
feeling sorry enough for her.
Mother was stunned, as she had just been trying to help entitled aunt feel better. Entitled aunt ranted on, shrieking about how nobody cared and,
How dare
mother do what she did. I gave mother a "let's go" look, and we promptly left, cousin giving me a sheepish look on the way out. I told mother she didn't need to keep seeing entitled aunt if this was the minefield we would be walking on, and she agreed. This had been the last straw for her. Entitled aunt called a few days later to set up a Spanish lesson with me, but I firmly told her that I didn't appreciate how she treated my mother and that I didn't want to speak to her until she apologized, but that I likely wouldn't want to speak to her after either. Somehow, I didn't get yelled at too. Entitled aunt eventually apologized because her little private therapist, me, wouldn't talk to her anymore, but the damage was done. We haven't seen entitled aunt in years, but I still talk to cousin, save for a great aunt's funeral, where entitled aunt tried to make the event about her and cousin, interrupting memories and discussions about the great aunt with boasting of entitled aunt's accomplishments, and not seeing her anymore is fine with us. Entitled aunt can keep her soggy psycho Pringle of a personality all to herself.
Drop a re in the comments, or I'm going to take your
Phone and give it to my son.
And congrats to our re-generals of the day, Rachel Edge, Leah A., your fellow drunkard, and Tin Doe. That's all for now, but don't be blue. I'll be back soon with more stories for you. Remember to listen to Mr. Reddit every night, so your dreams will be wonderful like you are and bright.